Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a very warm welcome to today's webinar, which is about a day in the life of a product manager at Microsoft. Are you all excited? Come on, I want to see the chat box buzzing with all the yes. Come on, can we see that? There is a good number of attendees who made it through. Yes, yes. Come on, guys, more energy I need before we start off. Can I see more yes? Yes, Nidhi Reddy says yes. Palak says yes. Amazing. I can guarantee you all that today's webinar is going to be power packed with value bombs that you'll receive regarding product management. We will be decoding and coding and doing every possible thing to help you all understand each and everything about product management. I want to run another poll. I want to ask you all, where all are you from and what kind of background do you have? Come on, I want to check the diversity before we start the session. Can I see that? Come on, guys. I want a lot more of energy in the chat box. Delhi. What background? I also want to know what background. Mumbai. Yeah, people from Delhi and Mumbai. Bangalore. Okay. Kolkata, and the background is MSc in food technology. Wow, Bangalore analytics / product, amazing. Computer science, Aditya, amazing. I think Aditya is from Bangalore and he's doing computer science. That's amazing. Guys, graduated, not graduated, still pursuing. I want more information. Come on. Come on, guys, more information. So only the metro cities? Is it only Delhi, Bangalore, Kolkata? Anybody from a small town like me, like anybody from Punjab, Delhi and marketing? Wow, that's great. Anybody from, say, Northeast or from Gujarat? UG, majoring in computer science. Wow, that is great. That is amazing. Guys, I think it's time for me to introduce to you today's speaker. But before that, I think I should introduce my own self, right? Yes. Come on, I am not going to start or speak anything if I don't see the chat box buzzing and running. So should I introduce myself? Just in case, I am already a very famous guy if you don't know. But guys, I am Kavach Khanna and I'm a mentor, educator and a YouTuber. For everything else, you should go stalk me. I'm pretty sure you'll have some amazing time doing that. But coming and talking or introducing to you, speaker of today's session, we have with us Tulika Rani, and one major warning Tulika gave me before we even started off this session, that Kavach, please do not hype me when you're introducing me. But Tulika, in all my modesty, I think you're the best person for today's session. Guys, Tulika has literally been there, done that. From her MS in software engineering from BITS Pilani to her MBA from IIM Bangalore, from rising her ranks through SAP or at SAP to driving innovation at Microsoft. Tulika, thank you so much for doing this and being a part of this one. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Kavach. I think the way you introduced, you did not leave any hype. So thank you.
I was just being modest, Tulika. But thank you so much. I know you've been under the weather, but thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Tulika, I just want to directly dive right into it. I am very curious to know about your journey. So how did you really end up in product management?
So basically, Kavach, I started my career in SAP like 11 years ago as a developer. So I was a hardcore techie in SAP, like nowhere related to management. So I think after a couple of years, I changed my stream because moving to techno-functional was comparatively easier in the career drifting way if you talk about. So then I moved to techno-functional expert and I was in retail space in SAP itself. So I had like around 100 to 200 customers catering to. So while I was doing that and I was getting to know the pain points of the customer or the problems of the customer, and in that techno-functional space you also get a scope where you solve the problem. So I was just saying, okay, this space is pretty much interesting. So I wanted to delve deeper into the space. So then I understood, okay, this is something you can achieve it when you're into the space like product management, where people say that you are like a CEO of the product, right from the execution to the planning to the strategy, everything. You're touching all the spectrum, like the complete line. So I just thought, okay, how can I get into it then now? So that was a big thing. that because I was completely a technical ground, now how I, pave my way towards the management space. So then, yeah, a couple of mentors, like how you're educating people. So these kinds of people I just got in touch with. And then I understood that, okay, if you have some kind of credibility, like whether you take a degree or certification or do some kind of fellowship, which was easier, like whatever options that you have, but you just can't directly go and just jump. Like something should be there before you, because when you are providing a resume, there's a lot of people who is competing with you. So something has to be there that you can stand out. So then I started, making a bit of pivot, and then I moved towards MBA. And from there, a lot of things started happening. Many doors started opening, if I can say that way. And then I transversed my career to the business IT strategist part, where I was working with customer and market insights team. And then finally, I got my calling and I moved into the product management space. So in this 11 years of my career, I just changed, 4 ways to just reach finally where I wanted to be.
Got it. I think just it's a roller coaster ride. I totally relate with when you say that there's a lot of competition, because India is a land of abundance. So
Yeah.
you need to like build up on your validity to like rise up through the ranks and somehow be seen in front of people. So Tulika, I want to dwell deeper into, you told that you went on to do MBA. I want to know how beneficial or important what was it in your journey. Like, could you have done it without an MBA? How was it like?
So I think that is again a very subjective question, Kavach. But if I just present my point of view for the kind of experience that I was having, and I made my I changed my mind that I want to move from the technical space to the management space. I was having around some 5 to 6 years of experience. That's it. So I was not having that kind of acumen through my experience that I can, grasp all the management whatever like it was happening in that space. Because people, if you are 15-20 years of experience, through your work experience you can get that. Then now if somebody comes and asks me that if you're having 15 and 20 years of experience, you still want to do an MBA, I think answers would be different. But from my point of view, I felt it was very, very much needed, because my perspective completely changed. Anything and everything that I used to previously see was only from technical perspective. I was jumping more into the solution approach. For everything, I was not worried what problem, how is it going to be solved, nothing. I just know, okay, this is the way the solution should look like, and then solve. Then I don't care for whom are we doing this. I'm just changing some code of lines because that was what something which is exciting to me. Okay, that is it. But when I came into this MBA world, what opened to me was the perspectives from different point of view, like how a operations manager thinks, how a strategist thinks, how even the business law people think, how you think from the finance perspective, and everything you have to like just think from one product perspective. It just doesn't go technical. So I think that is the wide vision, the entire spectrum that I got to cover, that I will give it from my side to my MBA learning. So this is what it had helped me.
Amazing. Tulika, one of the things that just pop into my mind right now, the whole transition you made from like a, completely into tech to management and management roles. What were the key essential skills you gained while you were transitioning? And what are the skills you feel like it's like a must have in today's time if somebody's looking out for a career in product management?
I think product management, the most important thing according to me is the customer obsession. It's like before you do anything else, you have to first, build that empathy with the customer, and you have to get into the customer's shoes to understand that what is their problem statement. That was the most important thing. I can even share a bit of thing from, while I was going through the interviews of product management, while I was giving, there were many scenarios that they were giving me, like, just can you tell me if two-wheeler you can, pitch into the Ola market? Just give me how you can do it. So, if I would have been a tech person, I would have just jumped into how. Okay, like let me tell you how can I do it. But because I got this perspective, I got a chance to, get into this MBA world, get many point of views and all. So I just started understanding, why do you need that? For what audience do you need that? Who is looking for it? There is many whys, many like who's to it before you jump into the house. So this is what it helped me to build a perspective, like when I came to this product management space. And basically, yeah, this is what it came up to be.
Wow, I think one of the very important things you told me is like you have to look in more for the why than the how.
Definitely.
If you come from a technical background, it's always about the how and solve the problem and move to the next. But understanding the why is really, really important.
Yeah, that is.
Tulika, tell me, like you were just now talking about like various stakeholders in it. Like I definitely know customer and customer obsession is one of them. But who are the other stakeholders and how do you like really try to juggle and balance all, because everyone will have different expectations. Everyone is looking through their perspective. So how as a product manager you have to like manage and balance all these stakeholders?
So for stakeholders, like there are many that is around you. Maybe I can take it further when I talk how a day in my life looks like. I think there I will
I
want.
Yes, I think I am super excited for that bit of it because everyone's here just to know that. So I think we should directly get into that and please explain us in detail how a day looks like in the life of a product manager at Microsoft. I know you have a presentation to share as well, so let's get started with that.
I will. Just give me a moment and then I'll try to answer
Yes. Till
questions.
then, I can see some questions in the chat, guys. Please save these questions for the last because we also have a dedicated Q&A session. So Tulika will be taking up these questions. But till then, if you have any of them, just as a reminder, you can put it in the chat now itself.
Just let me know, guys, if you're able to.
Yes. Tulika, I think I mean, we can see you. I mean, we can see the presentation.
Okay, just a second. Can you?
Yes, this is good. You can go ahead.
Okay.
But Tulika, yeah.
Yeah. You were saying something, Kavach?
No, I was thinking maybe I can't see you like your face.
Okay. Okay, I think let's people focus.
Okay, yes. Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think if I have to put in a pictorial format how the day looks like, it's exactly like this. And trust me, guys, I am not hyping this part. This is like in a day, how a day looks like for me. It is like I have to keep on juggling multiple balls. Like the day only start with meetings, and there is a lot of meetings. Like you have to collaborate with different teams. There's strategizing that is happening. You're analyzing the data. You're making the decisions like based on what is going on in the market. And then you spend time defining and refining product requirements, or you're working very closely with the development team and the other stakeholders to ensure that everyone is the same page. Amidst everything, what I want to just call out is that the communication, that is the key. Like product managers, you as a product manager, you have to talk to different personas day in and out. Like you will be finding yourself talking to customers, gathering feedback, then using that information to shape the product roadmap. So you can say that you are problem solvers, you're dealing with challenges like as they come, and then you're adapting to the plans accordingly. So another thing that comes out with this along with the communication is the flexibility, that how you are adapting to the change. So you are also playing a very, very crucial role in prioritizing your tasks. Like you're making tough decision even with respect to the resource allocation. Something you might have planned for the day, but suddenly your day will look something else with the different priorities that would come up. So every time you're looking for reprioritization and the resource allocations. And then moving to the next one, where I will just want to talk about that how you are interacting with the different kinds of stakeholders. This will give you, one spot kind of solution that, okay, this is how the world is revolving around you. Like you have sales team around you, you have engineering team around you, you have marketing team, you have the leadership team, you have the design team, you have the customer around you, and you are the one who is communicating to all. But the way how you're communicating is also different. You can't use the same lingo to talk to all the different personas. Otherwise, it'll all end up just mixing and there'll be no outcome out of it. So, like, suppose just to bring a crux of it, like if you are speaking to a customer, then it's very much important that you are talking from the benefits oriented point of view. Like, what's the testimonial, what's their pain point, how you want to support them, how you want to give that trust to them that, we are here to hear you, not to just sell our products. They should look like as if you are their supporters rather than you're just someone who is on the other side and just busy selling your products to them. Now, when you come to the design team, you can't go and talk to them in the technical jargon. You have to talk about, like, how the user experience should be enhanced in a particular product, how the visual communication should look like. Then now when you're talking to the leadership, they don't care, if I can be very honest, that how you have made the changes in your technical modules or how you're making the look and feel of the UI. They just want to know how the ROI is looking. What am I getting in return? What is the customer satisfaction score to me? Are you seeing any risks and how you can mitigate it? Now, if you're coming to the marketing team, they will be mostly be interested at whatever product that I'm positioning. Who are the target audience to them, and how you want to position that product. If there is an existing product and if you see there is a change in the marketing or in the technology trend, then how you can reposition your product, because basis that there will be campaign goals and everything that would be set. Now, next again, technical engineering team, it's very clear. I know there would be a lot of questions around that being a product manager, do you want to be into the technical space? So maybe when it comes, I'll handle that time. But just to bring on a very superficial level, I would just say that understanding is important. You cannot just say no and then go ahead with it, because communication is there. But how you are communicating, that becomes critical. It's not that you have to talk in the technical jargons, but you can still convert it and talk it in a simple way to make them understand. Now, again, to the sales team, when you're talking to them, you have to talk from the perspective that, what's the enablement for them so that they can, the pre-sales pitch and all that you have to talk about to them. So mainly, I'm just trying to tell you that in a day, this is how you're interacting to the various personas in your life. You are the same person, but how you are interacting with them is completely different from each persona. So this is with respect to the stakeholders that I have showcased, that how you are doing it. Now, if I take you to this picture, I would just want to highlight one thing. It will be very clear from this picture, that what is your role. So if you see the different personas, you can see them as, a sales team, a marketing team, an engineering team. Like suppose if you just talk from a sales team, maybe in this whole persona of elephant, he is seeing just a fan. Going to the ears of the elephant, and they're just trying to understand it's just a fan. So they are talking only from that perspective. Now, if you go to, maybe a technical person, you can just understand that she's touching the trunk of the elephant and they're just trying to understand, okay, it's just a snake. So net, what I want to see, that PM is someone who is seeing the bigger picture. You are just not seeing a very, focused. You're not very focused in just one space. You are focused on different space so that you can build a bigger picture. Because if you miss out the bigger picture, I think you will lose out on many things. You will lose out on the main value proposition of the product. So this picture is the example that how focusing in just one space can actually deviate you, and how important it is to step back and see, okay, my marketing team is thinking that, my sales team is thinking that, or maybe, my technical team is thinking that, but net, what product I'm selling, what product I'm looking at. So I think I felt this to be a great example to showcase like how the product manager actually looks like in a day-to-day work life. Now next, if I just say that, there is a lot of qualities that anyone at least working in their professions should have, but if I have to pick out the top 5 one that a PM should have, I would want to bring out that there should be a vision in the sense, like if you're having a product, you should first visualize what goal your product is serving, what is the problem that your product is solving at the end of the day. That should be the vision of the product. And the next is that I would say that how you are communicating. If I'll just come up with data and if I'll say that, okay, year on year end, my product is improving by 12% or 13%, and then this is the revenue that my product has made, this is the sales that my product has made, I'm just giving the numbers. So it's very, very critical that what I'm communicating, ideally anybody should understand, not necessarily only the person who is having the background. So that storytelling, that landing the right story is very critical. Like what made you do this? If you start from the problem statement, why what is such a critical problem in like the customer's life? Why did you see that there is a need to solve it? Like, are you trying to save a resource's time, or are you trying to save a customer's time by automating something, for example? And then you can come up to, your data and facts. So as long as data and facts are very critical, it's equally important how you are landing those facts to your audience. So this is one another thing that I see is as I have talked before, and as per me, that stands the first thing. It's the customer obsession, because according to me, that should be the first point if you are touching any product. Because many a times what happens that we want to tell them, okay, just have this feature, this is very important, this is good to have, but we fail to understand why is it good to have. Is customer also really looking for it? Like, suppose if I can just tell you that if you're having two remotes, one remote is having like multiple number of keys, and one remote is having just 3 to 4 keys. From a usability perspective, you will always say that less is more. But when you talk from the person who is just focused on the solution, they will say, okay, let me have this button, let me have the another button to automate, let me have another button to switch it. But we are not really, these are just good to have, but do we really need to have? But who will clarify all these doubts? These doubts can only be clarified by talking to the customer, by getting their feedback, by having this conversation, by understanding their pain points, by letting them know that they are being heard. So I think this is something which is very critical to have. The next one is that, okay, once you know all these things, now you have a good story, you have a customer obsession, you have a goal. Now the next important point is the delivery. You need to deliver these things. Otherwise, there is no point in talking. It's all talk and no deliver. So that is here your what mostly it comes is like how you're collaborating with the team, how the prioritization of the work, it becomes very critical. Like, okay, if customer is telling you 10 pain points, do you really think that 10 are needed? How you're reprioritizing those 10 pain points based on what facts? So all these will help you come up with the features, and then you can collaborate with your different team, like the stakeholders that we have talked about, and then you can work on delivering the outcomes. The last one, what I feel, is the product and the technical acumen. It is important because nowadays, if you see the trend, and it is good if we accept it, that we are moving towards it. Like, it's a technical trend, and right now, if you talk about 2024, generative AI is on everybody's lips or everybody's tongue, if you can say. So that way, it is important to understand. Nobody is saying that you have to get into the nitty-gritty of the technical, like nobody is telling you, write me a code and tell me, but you should understand the technology, because technology is not a solution. Technology is just a medium to solve the problems. Like, if I'm solving a problem, like if I can just tell about Lenskart, if you see, it's the product company, right? But they are using a technology of AR, that you can just, AR, VR, they're doing, you can just try on specs and you can see how you're looking. But it's not that only that technology is being used, but if the technology is not there, the product cannot be differentiated. So for that way, you have to be, very aligned with what is the technology trends going on. So I feel these 5 points are mainly very critical if you have to establish yourself as a good PM, with my experience. So yeah, this is what even my day looks like, Kavach. Like, every day I have to bring all these things that I am working. It's not just that, okay, I know that it is a vision. Every day I have to recall all these things. If I'm talking to anyone, like why the person wants to hear me, that is very important. Because if a person just comes and talks to me only with facts, I will not be very much interested. But there should be a reason why the person should be, gripped towards you. So all these things you have to keep every day while you're delivering your work as a product manager. And that's what I do, even when day in and out I'm interacting with the stakeholders.
Wow. Tulika, I think a product manager's role looks nothing less than like a magician. You have to get everything out there to get the main act running. So I totally get that. By the way, thank you so much for this presentation. I made notes of all the important takeaways that I could get, like, whether it's the importance of communication, or, understanding like the why before you move to the how, or, seeing the bigger picture. I think a lot of people, specifically the ones who come from a technical background, are really just into their own thing, but it's very important for them to understand and look at the bigger picture of things. So thank you so much for this presentation. Now, Tulika, I have 1 or 2 doubts that are just there in my mind right now. Firstly, like, the thing that I want to understand is, because product management has a lot to do with innovation, because you always have to be one step ahead to bring something unique. How are you fostering these innovating strategies? Like, how do you ask your team to come up with them, or how do you do that?
So I think for innovation coverage, I would say that you have to build that culture in your team. It's not just, suddenly you just, okay, let's come and let's innovate something big and huge. For me, innovation is nothing but a culture. Culture in the sense that if a person is having some ideas which is not even completely firmed up, it's completely fine. You should feel that psychological safety that you should come and talk to me about it. Because there are many teams I feel where innovation dies out, where they feel, okay, come when the prototype is ready, come when you have something to show me. Otherwise, then the people have this hesitation of failure. They feel that, okay, until unless this is not ready, I should not be even talking. But sometimes what happens that if you just build that culture that, okay, whatever ideas it is, even if it is a failure, you should celebrate it in a way that what you have learned from it, because at least one thing is ticked, that we should not do it, right? So that is also an understanding. So next time when you are thinking something like from innovation perspective, you will know that, okay, I should not enter into that direction. So that way it will definitely help. So being open is one thing, and like this is the culture point of view. Now if I say how innovation, you have to also be very much aligned with how the technology is trending in the market, and then it's very, very critical to know your product end to end. And innovation doesn't mean necessarily that complete product you have innovated. You can just touch one point of it, and you can just try to bring the change in one of the processes of the many processes. Like suppose if you are onboarding any new employees in your tool, then you can just see that there can be multiple number of processes. You can just see that how you can just quickly help them only enable to just enter some details and get the data, rather than they're raising tickets and then they're waiting for some 24 hours. So it looks like, okay, this is a very small crisp, but has it created a difference? Yes, it does, because now if somebody has to raise a ticket and get the response and getting 24 hours, nowadays a bot is just solving it within seconds. So this is also for me is innovation. So it need not be one big shot that you have to go with. And when you go slow by slow and process by process, ultimately you will see that the whole product is changed and it is completely aligned with the trend also that is going in the market. So I see the innovation like this.
Yeah. So, like one doubt that I have in my mind. I mean, I know in your deck you were explaining the importance of technical skills and have them, but then at the same time, generative AI is coming over. So, like, can people from non-technical backgrounds end up becoming product managers, or is just like engineers playing field? Like, how is it?
No, definitely. People even with non-technical background, they can become an awesome product managers, because many people, they hold back thinking that since I am in the IT industry, if I don't know technology, I should not be a part of this game. But that's not the case, because the understanding is different. They think that when it comes to being technical, you should be in the position to write codes, to debug, to just say that, okay, now if I just bring an example and say that there are two systems. So one system is your upstream, the other is your downstream. What you have to just understand that if the two systems are communicating, where it can possibly go wrong, it can either go wrong in the upstream system, it can either go wrong in the downstream system, or it can go wrong in the point where the two systems are integrated. Right? This is the common sense, or this is just the understanding of the business, that if something is flowing, how it should flow. But how people think is, okay, would I be asked that, okay, if the JSON payload has been passed from this system to the other system, and these technical fields and these attributes has been changed and has been affected? No, that's not what a product manager need to do. They need to only understand how in the ecosystem the systems are interacting with each other, and where and how the information is flowing. You can even take a call there. Something which is happening in the integration, you can just say that, okay, why do we even have to reach the integration when the decision has to be taken by the upstream? Why are you doing that at all? Because it has nothing to do technically, but you have given an input to your technical team, where the technical team can go back and just think that, okay, maybe rather than working on the integration part, I can just tell my upstream that, okay, you handle the logic. But you are just telling from a normal product business perspective. That's it. So this is how you have to interact. So I don't think so that is at all a hurdle. Or you should think that, okay, if you're not too much techie, then you cannot enter into the product management world. That's not the case at all.
Right. No, true. I think because I'm pretty sure a lot of people, because in the chat also we were seeing there are people from marketing background, all different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So they would definitely have this one doubt. Moving to another very important thing that I want to understand is what are like the pitfalls or drawbacks of a product manager, or like how can you avoid it, or if this is not good, that is not good. What are those things?
So pitfalls, I'll say that jumping into the solution rather than understanding the problem statement. So sometimes what happens that somebody will just come that, okay, this is just a very minor change, let's change it and we will have a new feature. And then you will also be tempted, oh yeah, with no, because what you are looking at is that, okay, you will deliver 2 features instead of 1. So this attitude is absolutely wrong, because now what is happening, you have not done any exercise of understanding why do we need it. Who are the people who are going to use it? Because you felt something is easy to do and it is a low hanging fruit, let's do it. No. Even if it is, you have to first see that jumping to solution is a big no. And then also when you are not putting your stakeholders on the same page, like they say in product management space, you over communicate, no problem at all. But communication is something that you just cannot think that, okay, is it okay? When you think, no, that you are sending any mail, can I put this person? Should I not? Don't think, just put it. Because even if they know, there's nothing wrong in sharing those information. They will accept it. If they use it, they will come back. If they don't, then there's no problem. But don't under communicate. So communication is very critical. And then I feel that sometimes what happens that you run under assumptions that, okay, because I have delegated this work to my team and then it would be done. So this is one thing is also very critical, that you should have a regular one-on-ones or meetings or scrums where you always bring out and see that how your feature is being delivered, because one is inception and one is execution. So one that is already there, that your work is going on, but execution is also equally important. So sometimes feel that being a product manager, you should not be involved so much into the execution. Planning is good enough. So that is also not right. As much critical as planning, what is going into the system is only after execution. So you should be equally a part of it. So these 3 things I feel that you should definitely avoid.
True. I think, I mean, being a communicator myself, I love talking to people. But for you, like the whole transition to just like coding at once to now managing so many stakeholders, it's a long way that you've come. Like I get that. Tulika, we have a super exciting part of the webinar, which is the rapid fire. But my apologies at the very start, we don't have any hamper to offer you. So I'm really sorry. But I am obsessed with coffee with Karan. So this is like a better version, let's say coffee with Kavach. So are you ready for the rapid fire?
Yes, I am.
Good. I want the answers to be like super rapid. Till then, let's rain check with the people at the chat how you are doing. Guys, are we good? Are you all also excited for the rapid fire? Don't worry, guys. I won't ask who Ananya Pandey is dating. Don't worry about that. Neither am I interested in anybody's personal lives. Yes. Okay, we can see a lot of yes. Great. Perfect. Amazing. So, Tulika, here you go. One skill every product manager needs.
I think storytelling with data. The art of storytelling with data.
Nice. Biggest product management challenge?
Not understanding your customer and jumping to solution.
Okay. The go-to pre-em resource?
Okay, this will not be rapid coverage. Maybe I'll just take a few, like 1 minute around it. There is nothing as such that you can say there is a PM resource, but I go through a lot of newsletter or the articles to go through it. And I would suggest it's always good when you're in this tech industry, especially if you go through these Gartners, the CIO agenda that they brings, or the IDC newsletter that we get, the International Data Corporation, or the Forrester and the McKinsey one. I think they provide beautiful insights, how the industry is responding, how the technology is going. With every respect, it's industry agnostic, it's tech agnostic. So these are the resources. As a practice, you should keep on reading just to keep yourself aware. And then ideas will definitely flow as a PM, like in whatever role you are. So yeah, this is what I go through.
I think you've listed some very go-to resources. Next question: data or intuition? What should a product manager prefer?
Any day data.
The next big product management trend.
I think everything is now data driven. So, like when I was even talking about the storytelling part, you have to build that story, but it has to be based on facts. So, I'll say data driven product management.
Okay. Hardest stakeholder to convince.
There's no clear answer to it. It actually depends on many factors, sometimes related to features, sometimes related to the product, sometimes related to a particular initiative that has been taken in the organization. And sometimes even PMs can be very difficult to convince. So it's just not
Okay.
stakeholder or not. You yourself can be very hard to be convinced sometimes.
Okay. One book every aspiring product manager should read.
I think aspiring product managers should read Inspired. Like it's a book by Marty Kagan, and where he has touched upon like how to create the tech products that our customers love. So I think that's a great book to start with.
Okay.
The seasoned ones can read it. It's a great one.
Got it. The biggest myth about product management.
I'll not say a myth, but I'll say they say that you are a jack of all trades, and they use it in a negative connotation because the next line says that a jack of all trades but a master of none. But people don't know the complete sentence of it, so it's like a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes it's better than a master of one.
Wow, I didn't know that. I am taking this. My biggest takeaways here. Next question. One tech trend you're most excited about.
I think as everyone is the AI, and I think it brings a lot of work for the PMs because then you have to go around the ethics of the AI. You have to go around, the cyber security aspect of it. So AI is something which is here and it is going to stay.
Okay. Last question. Your go-to for creative product management inspiration.
So that is also not I have a very clear answer to it, Kavach, but I can say that there are many. Like sometimes even when you are having a communication with your peer or with your stakeholders or with your leaders, with certain topic you will become inspired. Okay, you can bring this aspect as a part when you're working as a PM. Sometimes these books that I read, sometimes the podcasts that I listen. So it's many things or online publications that I go through. So it's a little things that I take away from whatever is happening around me, and that adds to it. So this is for me. It is.
Wow. Great. That's the end of the rapid fire. Thank you so much. I think you've given like good value bombs in the rapid fire with the names of the books and the inspiration that you go for. So thank you so much. Good job. Like I said, I don't have a hamper to offer, so I'm really sorry for that.
Thank you.
Tulika, now I want to move to like the questions that are coming in the chat and as well as has been given to us before. So guys, are you ready now? It's the time for you all to start shooting in the questions in the chat. Don't worry, I will scroll up and take the questions from the very start. But whatever questions you have, please shoot them up right now and we'll take it one by one. Nilotpal Chatterjee Tulika has asked what are the differences between a normal MBA/PGDM course versus an MBA course in product management.
First of all, I would like to congratulate those folks who have this clarity before joining an MBA. Wish I had, because when I joined MBA, I just had a clarity that I want to move from technical to a management space. But I'll tell you the difference. The difference mainly is that when you are doing a regular MBA, the first year is very generic, where you yourself, exploring that what field you will be going into, whether you will be going into the finance side, whether you'll be going into the finance, the technical, no, not the technical, but the operation side or the strategy side. Like for me, I took the route of the strategy and the product in my second year. But this is a course which will be tailored in a way that though you will have a general understanding of the MBA, but everything will be tailored with respect to the product management. And it will be a great thing because now what happens that most of the things I have to learn on the job. When I say on the job, it will be like many tools, like product mapping tools are there. Then there will be, when you are going through the project evaluation tools are there. When you're creating any prototyping, that tools are there. So I understand when you are doing a focused MBA in product management, you will already be knowing these tools, and not just one or two tools. You will be knowing some 3 to 4 tools, and you will get a chance to even implement it. Because your project will also be focused, where before entering an industry, you will know that this is how the vision of the project should be, this is how the product strategy looks like, this is how you sit and create a product roadmap. So I think it's a win-win situation. It's like an industry experience before entering into an industry.
Wow, that's great. In fact, Nilotpal, you should also join us on the 9th of Feb, because I am doing a session with Jimmy James where we are going to do like a full-fledged comparative analysis between a product management MBA versus like all the other short-term courses and the other things. So thank you for this answer, Tulika. The next question is from Nikhil, and he is asking, how is work-life balance as a product manager?
I think work-life balance is a very subjective term. You can make it worse and you can make it awesome. It's actually it's related to a self. If you tell about me, I am happily able to manage, but it's just that whatever time I'm giving, like if I'm available in the system from 9 to 4, for example, then I am available in the system. So suppose if you're not able to manage that time well, you will end up feeling as if you are working throughout the day. For the way how it looks in my life, because I have my engineering and the other stakeholders in the IST time zone, and my business is sitting in the PST time zone. So if you see that way, you can completely burn yourself if you're not able to, do the time management. So for me, I have kept a very clear demarcation that, okay, from 9 to 4, everything and other stakeholders, whatever engagement or whatever work I need to do, then I take some break, and then from 8 to 10, whatever it is there, it's not necessarily even always 8 to 10, but if it is, I will already be prioritizing it, what I have to talk to the business and what it is about. So for me, it's very well balanced, and I like such kind of hectic schedules. Otherwise,
wow, good for you. But Tulika, I want to know, like, this question is from me, nobody else. What do you think about like quiet quitting, which is trending right now, like all over?
What? Sorry?
The quiet quitting, where like people are not quitting the jobs, but they're there, but just like imaginary there, like, they're just there doing the bare minimum to survive. So what do you think about that?
I think that is very, I think because of this work from home is also going away. Like many companies that you are calling back, and they are feeling that, okay, this is not something which is going to go forever, but you have to come back and do it. And that is also something which will eventually make you very irrelevant with respect to the industry. And then I know there are other aspects as well, but then you can easily even fall prey to the attrition game that is going on in the industry so rampant. So that way I feel that it's not, before quitting, they quit themselves.
That's true. Yeah. Tulika, next question is from Rosie Banerjee, and she's asking, how can I be industry ready myself before joining a company?
I think you have the answer. When you do an MBA which is specialized in product management, you are super ready. I think you will be even more ready people who are joining the company with no product management experience as a new joinee. You can add a lot of value to the table. So I think such kinds of courses definitely helps.
Great. Tulika, next question is from Swapnil, and he's asking, what metrics do you track as a PM at Microsoft?
So there is no net metric which is relevant to all the products. Now suppose if I am working on a feature which is related to the automation, then I will track that how much man-hour resource that I have been able to save in a week's time, and how much percentage of automation have I been able to, being able to brought in this manual end-to-end process. So it really depends what kind of feature you're looking into, and the metrics can change. Because if you're working directly with a product where you're selling the customers, if the number of customers are increasing, then you have a focus on the sales revenue. So how much more revenue you're bringing to table. So there the ROI becomes your sales revenue. When you're working in automation, then your ROI is different and metric. So depending upon the product, you have to come up with the metrics which is relevant to the feature.
Got it. Tulika, Akash is asking, what are the top 5 major tasks a product manager does on priority?
I think there is no task, but I'll say the top 5 things that you should always keep on mind. I have already talked about it, like how you should always be having a vision, and whenever like you have to always keep on mind, even a simple meeting that you're doing, you should instill that okay, there should be a storytelling, and there should be a customer obsession. Even if we are talking to the other stakeholders around you, that you should look like as if you are a customer sponsor, and delivery, that should definitely be on top of mind daily, and the understanding of the product end to end. So this is the top 5 thing that should be day in and out for a product manager.
Awesome. Okay, great. I think these were the questions that we had today. So thank you so much to each one of you for asking these questions, and thank you so much, Tulika, for being a part of this and giving us all the important, valuable insights. Trust me, like I have, my paper is filled with the notes that I have taken from your session with a customer obsession, communication, the why and the how. So thank you so much for being a part of this and doing this.
Thank you so much, Kavach.
Yes, I would also like to thank the whole team at HSB for organizing this. They've been working tirelessly in getting everybody ready for this particular session. So thank you so much to each one of you at HSB for doing this. In case you want to join us for the next sessions, I am conducting a session with Jimmy on the 9th of February. So that's day after tomorrow. So I hope to see you there. Please follow us on Instagram page, check out the website and everything. At the same time, if you all are looking to learn more about product management and are interested in the MBA at MBA of product management at HSB, please check the website. You'll find a lot of details. Sanat has also put a reminder for 9th session on the chat. So please check it up and join us for that as well. An MBA in product management can be very beneficial to each one of you. For those who are looking for a career in product management, there is a 3-track learning that is there. You will be getting to learn a lot about general management, product management, and leadership. So in case if you're interested for that, please join us for the upcoming webinars and also check out their website for more details relating to the MBA. Thank you so much once again for everyone for joining this and being a part of this one. I hope it has provided you each and every, all the value that you were looking for. I also want to leave you with a little homework. Are you all ready for that? There are people on the chat. So not a homework. I don't want to be a teacher, but I really would want and appreciate if you could go back and think about the lessons and the insights that you've gotten from this session. I honestly believe Tulika has shared good value bombs. Please try thinking about that and putting it on a piece of paper and thinking what kind of innovation or change can you bring about in your current role or in your current position. I'm pretty sure that will get your brain to taking more, and ultimately a little exercise of what basically a product manager does in his whole day. You'll be getting to do that. So try that out, and I'm pretty sure I'll take up feedback in the next session on the 9th of what kind of exercise have you done. So thank you so much once again. This is Kavach Khanna signing off for today's session. Thank you so much everyone for joining.